Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the CD guy, Johnny Z here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Night 1 of Power Trip. I put out a poll in the community tab a few weeks ago, almost been a month ago, I guess now, asking you guys your thoughts. Do you think Iron Maiden should have headlined over Guns N' Roses Night 1? And 80% said yes, 20% said no, so listen, before I go forward, I just want to say that I'm a fan of both Iron Maiden and GNR, and they're, two bands that I cover frequently on this channel. But it's my personal opinion that while GNR are massive, I don't agree with them headlining Night 1 over Iron Maiden, and I'll tell you why. That poll is still open, by the way. You might have to do a little bit of scrolling now since it was a while ago, but if you want to vote, please go ahead and share your thoughts there as well. But if you follow my channel, you probably already know that Iron Maiden are my favorite band of all time. But, removing all bias here, who's going to give you the better show in 2023, from a visual, showmanship, and musical standpoint? Is it Iron Maiden or is it Guns N' Roses? I just feel like, in my opinion, it has to be Iron Maiden, and, analyzing what both acts bring to the table, I would go with Maiden 10 times out of 10, because there are a few bands that are able to, if any bands, by the way, that are able to match the same energy that Iron Maiden bring to a concert, and anyone having to follow Maiden has the unenviable task, of having to go on after them. So, with that said, the tickets were sold for Power Trip months in advance, long before any of these set times were announced. So, if I were in charge of Power Trip, I'd then be looking to, who's going to be putting on the best live show possible for my headliners. So with that said, personally, I think Iron Maiden should have headlined over GNR. I think they're both great, but I think Maiden brings a little bit more to the table in 2023 in terms of, aspects, like I said, like, visual, showmanship, and musicianship. So, just my opinion. And as for the argument that, this is a co-headline bill, there's a level of prestige that goes on with, being last, right? I mean, that's how it is with AC/DC returning tomorrow, and, Metallica closing things out on Sunday. So, to be fair, we don't know what factors went into the decision-making here in terms of the set times, and I have heard a lot of Iron Maiden fans joke and say that they're going to see Maiden first and leave, beat the traffic, and get home early. Personally, don't do that, right? Of course, I don't agree with that at all. I think both brands bring something great to the table, and once again, this is of no disrespect to GNR at all. In fact, credit to them for having to take on the tall task of having to follow Iron Maiden. I just don't agree personally with Maiden going on first, and it's not a crazy argument to suggest that Maiden go on last, since they are one of the biggest metal acts in the world, and maybe there's a bit of a North American factor with this too, right? GNR are the bigger band in the States with more mainstream appeal, so I'd be willing to bet that if the roles were reversed, and this was on Maiden's home turf in the UK, yeah, the roles would be reversed. I'd be willing to bet that Maiden would go on last, GNR would go on first. But, I wasn't sure people's thoughts were going to be on this, which is why I put out that poll in the community tab asking for your thoughts, and it turns out the majority of you guys do agree with me. But enough of that, let's get into the set lists here and each individual band. Maiden kick things off, and of course they're on the Future Past tour right now, so that set list you can see right over here. Spoiler alert, if you do not want to see any Future Past tour spoilers, you probably shouldn't have clicked on this video, but the set list here, we have Caught Somewhere in Time, Stranger in a Strange Land, The Writing on the Wall, The Days of Future Past, The Time Machine, The Prisoner, Death of the Celts, Can I Play with Madness, Heaven Can Wait, Alexander the Great. Awesome to finally hear that in the live set, right? Fear of the Dark, Iron Maiden. Then for the encore, you have The Great Hell on Earth, The Trooper, and Wasted Years to close things out. So, 15 tracks here by Maiden, kicking off Night 1 of Power Trip. And one thing that I've noticed, and I'd love to have, I'd love to hear about, a lot of these songs being performed live that they haven't played live in many years, or in the case of a few, had never been played live before, is they're getting tighter with each and every show, which has been great, to listen to over time, because when they were first starting out, obviously there was a little bit of a feeling out process with some of those, lesser played or never played before songs, and of course Nico has, had an uphill battle over the course of this tour, which has been very unfortunate, but he seems to be improving as well, which is just awesome to hear. So, in my opinion, the band sounds super tight, and I hope they announce some North American dates for the States in 2024, because I desperately need to see them on this tour. But great performance by Maiden, and the setlist is pretty killer. Can't wait to hopefully hear it live sooner than later. On to the Guns N' Roses setlist here. They did about 3 hours and 28 songs, 29 if you include Slash's guitar solos. You can see that setlist right over here. Starting things off with It's So Easy, you have Bed, Obsession, Chinese Democracy, Slither, Pretty Tied Up, Mr. Brownstone, Welcome to the Jungle, Hard School, Absurd, Double Talk and Jive, Reckless Life, You Could Be Mine, Strange, Live and Let Die, Down on the Farm, Rocket Queen, TVI, great, the Stooges cover there, I thought that was fantastic. Better, Anything Goes, Civil War, probably my favorite GNR song of all time. You have Slash's guitar solo, then Sweet Child of Mine. November Rain, Wichita Lineman, Knocking on Heaven's Door, Patience, Coma, Night Train, and Paradise City to close things out. The Guns N' Roses set list has been, pretty much the same for a long time, but this is still a very strong set in my opinion. I would probably have removed Absurd from the set list because I feel like that song is just an absolute disaster, but nonetheless, this is a solid set list here. Some really great stuff there by GNR, and even though me personally, like I said, I would have put Iron Maiden as your headlining act, you can't deny that GNR put on a great show here as well, and really both bands had a very solid performance at Power Trip, and it's just going to be a lot of fun this entire weekend to see what every band brings to the table, and I'm sure there's a little bit of an unspoken competition there for who's going to, who wants to have the best performance of the weekend, which I will be doing a video when all is said and done ranking each performance, but Iron Maiden and Guns N' Roses both kick things off here tonight with, two really awesome performances. So that wraps up my review of Night 1 of Power Trip. I understand that, some of the accommodations there are pretty rough, right? There's not a lot of shade. It's very hot. Even the VIP areas don't have a lot of accommodations, which is unfortunate. So if you happen to, be a follower of the channel and you are there at Power Trip, please stay hydrated and stay safe. Have a great time. And if you, did go to Night 1, please let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought of it in person. Unfortunately, I did not get the opportunity to attend. I hope they do more Power Trip festivals in the future, maybe changing up the location so it's somewhere closer to me. But, if you did go to Night 1 and are planning to go to Night 2 and 3, I envy you. That's awesome. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We just hit 1.7 thousand subs. Thank you all so much. It's greatly appreciated. I really appreciate the growth of the channel. And so now we move on to our next goal, which I would hope... I'm hoping to get somewhere between, I don't know, 1.9 thousand and 2,000 by the end of the year. I think that's a pretty attainable goal, and I know that we can do it. So if you've not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. Be sure to turn on the bell for notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. There's a lot of stuff coming out this weekend. It's a very busy news weekend with Power Trip, so this is your one-stop destination for all things Power Trip. So stay tuned for a bunch of other uploads, a bunch of other cool stuff we're going to be talking about this weekend. And of course, until next time, it's the CD guy, Johnny Z, signing off. Take care, everybody.